Stephen Fry, who is president of Mind, has joined with Knights of Malta Sir Cliff Richards, OBE, to fight not for the safety of children that the corporate establishment failed to protect from high-profile perverts, despite numerous investigations like Operation Yewtree, which resulted in Sir Cliff being arrested before being cleared of all charges by a British court, but for the protection of the identity of those, like himself, found to be connected, at the very least, with those involved with the elite paedophile rings. Cliff Richards, the squeaky clean ambassador for Christ, whom the late pop star George Michael said was vile, stated on ITV's Loose Women programme that
I would rather 10 guilty people escape than one innocent person suffer.
Would it not be better to advocate seeing the common sense laws of the land upheld in a properly convened court du jour, held in open forum so that justice can actually be seen to be done, therefore protecting the innocent, including those wrongly accused, and punishing those that are proven to have knowingly and with intent caused harm, injury or loss to another, with their sentences reflecting the seriousness found in the undisputable evidence of their trespasses. It is rumoured that St. Cliff did not take to prayer in order to protect himself from finger-pointing accusations, but instead apparently took out a very expensive super injunction relating to the notorious Elm Guest House, which the Metropolitan Police allegedly have or had video evidence that places the singer at the property on a visit to the premises. It needs to be reiterated here that Knight of Malta member Sir Cliff Richards, OBE, has not been found guilty of any crime and was cleared of all charges by a High Court judge under the current British judicial system. But it is nonetheless disturbing to note, when casting one's eye upon the company he has kept over the years, the names he has been associated with, such as Lord Longford, Jimmy Savile, Rolf Harris, the Cray twins, and Robert Boothby, as well as being good friends with 33rd degree Freemason and CIA operative Billy Graham, who monarch mind control survivor Kathleen Sullivan tells us in her book Unshackled that the famous evangelist Graham abused and raped her. Interesting to note here is that one of the allegations against the Christian pop singer Sir Cliff was back in 1985 against a young boy at a religious rally hosted by Billy Graham in Sheffield. According to whistleblower Mary Moss, Cliff Richards was a regular visitor at the Elm Guest House in southwest London, where a VIP paedophile ring was operating during the 1970s and 80s. Social worker Mary Moss, along with her colleague Christopher Fay, made serious allegations of horrific child sex abuse at the property by people in positions of power and influence, following which it was the whistleblower Mary Moss who was raided by Special Branch and other intelligence services. One would assume to seek and destroy any evidence of the activities of the guest house linked to an elite paedophile ring. But the whistleblower Moss says that she was able to photograph and upload part of an alleged VIP guest list. Cliff Richards' name appears on the alleged Elm Guest House VIP list, which also includes Cyril Smith, Leon Britton, Harvey Proctor, along with convicted paedophiles DJ Chris Denning and Colin Peters QC. Again, I remind the reader that Sir Cliff has been cleared of all charges for which he was arrested, and just maybe poor Cliff, knighted also by the papacy, was so blinded by religion that he failed to notice or suspect the illicit behaviour of his friends. I'm sure that his devotion to prayer and straining to hear the word of God could have rendered him deaf to the outside world, and therefore be said to account for his failure, at the very least, to hear the same rumours that we know were circulating about the activities of a number of his friends. Those very same rumours that it is strongly thought to have led to the murders of a number of his other friends too, who were possibly feared to be potential whistleblowers. With Cliff being such a good Christian in light of the revelations of the sickening crimes carried out by these men, for which he cannot deny at the very least he had an association with. The question has to be asked why he has not led a crusade to destroy the ongoing paedophile rings at the BBC and Westminster.
But the idea that youngsters were a bit of a prey, everybody knew that.
He did a Jim'll Fix It, where he got kids to perform with the Chippefields, or people like a child, to perform with beefcake people who took their clothes off. Jim'll Fix It.
Yes, it's an appalling slur on the moral rectitude of Sir James Savile, whose interest in children has always been entirely above board. The pressure group Family and Youth Concern complained after a 7-year-old boy took part in a male strip show on the Jim'll Fix It programme. For his part, Jimmy Savile said, "I would remind you that only adults have dirty minds, not children." Jimmy Savile is 65 years of age.
Have we got any letters at all?
Yeah, Louise Carpenter from Shrewsbury says, "Dear Frank and David, my 8-year-old daughter loved the Jimmy Savile World Cup comment slot that you did at the beginning of the series. She keeps asking, what has happened to it? Will it be back?"
8-year-old girls love Jimmy Savile, though, don't they? And of course... Anyway, I won't go on.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves her slot. That's what I'm saying.
Said I won't go on. He doesn't. I said I won't go on.
He doesn't! 3 life sentences. A spokesman said, "You think you know a guy," and then he goes and does something like that.
You used to be a wrestler, didn't you? Is that right?
I still am.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feared in every girls' school in this country.
Yet so many who were up close and personal with the sick and twisted DJ claimed to be completely in the dark. Who interviewed Savile in 2000 claimed that he did not know about the crimes of the man who he said had become a friend. And if it is true that this renowned investigative journalist genuinely did not know what everybody else at the BBC knew, then why is he still being given the opportunity and the platform to produce his work for television? Or was it the corporate media's way of dispelling rumours and protecting the establishment's favourite celebrity paedophile? If we are to take on his word, considering how guilty he claims to feel for his investigative incompetence, why is he not now naming and shaming those that protected Savile and using his skills as a journalist to bring down these child sex rings? At a restaurant called the Flying Pizza, which was said to have been Savile's favourite place to eat, he told his friend Louis, "Your future is safe in my hands, and not only is your future safe, it is glittering." We know that the leading politicians from all mainstream parties are implicit in the cover-up of child abuse in their ongoing protection of the elite paedophile rings, using their politically influenced gangs to extend their sworn duty to the corporate crown to aid in the cover-up, which certainly seems to include the destruction of evidence, and is why the people, those that the governments are supposed to be public servants to, need to insist, accepting no excuses or incompetence, on a full investigation before a properly convened court de jour under common sense law held in open forum into the crimes of church and state, in order to protect the innocent rather than the guilty, with full disclosure and arrests of all guilty parties, regardless of their high office or privileged positions. The immunity from prosecution awarded these criminals was not accepted by the people, but given by members of the same corrupt fraternity operating under corporate law for the interests of the few.